Hi, I'm Tanya from Time and Space Solutions, and today I want to talk to you about productivity. In the past, I had this negative view of productivity where it's someone that's on this hamster wheel and they're go, 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 and then they're never stopping to smell the flowers and just be present and intentional. And yes, that is how some people run their lives. They let life around them take over. It's actually not what productivity is. It's more about making every moment matter so that you can be present and you can be intentional and in the moment and calm. So today I want to talk to you about the 5-step process that you can do to be more productive, and it's based on my 5-step process and other strategies that I've researched on that help people become more productive. So let's get started. The first thing to consider is that when we're super, super clear on what we want to do, every moment matters, every minute matters, everything that we do has purpose and drive. And that is the foundation of productivity, is making sure that you're clear on your why, your life purpose, your mission, and what it is that you want to create and give to the world and to those who are close to you. That also includes, well, who are you fighting for? What are you doing this for? Because if we just make it about us, well, that passion, that drive, that inspiration, it's not going to last. The other aspect of that is just being really, really clear on, well, what is it that I'm going to do? What are the goals that I'm going to set for myself? So it's about being clear about your vision, but also the goals that you need to put into place to make it happen. And that brings me to the second step, which is planning your moves and being super strategic with everything that you're doing. What are the actions, the best actions, that are going to get you to that point a lot faster of where you want to go? Instead of wasting time doing randomness, group everything so that you know your 5 moves in each area of what you need to do. Another way to look at it is called prolific quality output. Brendan Burchard talks about this. And that is, again, about being super intentional and those moves that are going to have the most impact and the quickest. The other thing to consider when you're doing planning is actually doing the bigger picture and then the small picture. So planning your year, your month, your week, and your days. And when you do that, it's not just about your goals. Well, what about your self-care, your routines, your breaks? Because without those breaks, it's impossible to just be go, go, go all the time and be really focused. That's unrealistic. We need to step back, shake it off, do some stretching, whatever works for you to get you back into alignment and focused, and just to give yourself a break, literally. Once you've kind of mapped out that overall vision, those bigger steps, well, now let's organize and design your time and your schedule. And that means blocking, zoning off time for specific tasks. So I do this with clients, and then when we do that, they can kind of see, okay, I have this visual picture of what my week will look like, and then I can see where the holes are and the gaps are. Well, I'm not doing enough of this, and I need to do a little bit less of that. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Because before you can even do the organizing, you have to declutter. And so I do this both with my clients when we're talking about physical space and when we're talking about time. So before you can kind of map everything out and organize it, you've made that plan, you know what you want to do, but what's been stopping you? How have digital distractions stopped you? Have some blogs on that, I'll put them in the link. How have, family members stopped you or distracted you? Where do you need to set boundaries, right? When are you going to check your emails? When are you going to respond to family? Because especially now that so many people work from home, it creates this dynamic where there's no beginning and end to anything and everything's all blurred. And then there's no clear definition of what you're doing when, for who, and why. So it's really important to set those boundaries with family, with your digital distractions, and also minimize the clutter in your work. What distractions do you have at work? Are there physical distractions? Are there people? Is it the way that you're doing something? Do you need to approach it in a different way and spend less time doing one thing and more time doing another? Do you need to build a skill? And then that goes back to your vision. What skills do you need to build? And then implementing that into your plan, and then getting rid of, well, spending too much time watching these things that aren't serving me. I need to start watching more videos on this topic because I need to build that skill. So once you've gotten super clear on your vision, your mission, your purpose, you've made a plan of what you want to do based on your goals, and then you've gotten rid of all those distractions, now we can organize your schedule. And like I said, that's blocking off time for specific tasks. And when you do something matters. Research shows that the first 2 to 4 hours that we're awake is the best for problem solving, critical thinking, idea building, collaborating, all that heavy thinking. And so it's really important to map those tasks out in the morning. And then later on in the day, the stuff that, it's a little bit easier, like emails and whatnot, where you're not having to think so much and problem solve. Once you've mapped all that out, including your self-care, your morning and evening routines, well, it's great, but how are you going to sustain that? How are you going to make sure you stay on track? And that's exactly it. You are going to track your growth. That's how you sustain it. And that means tracking your growth, your habits, your routines, tracking, what you're learning, finding a way to do it digitally or on paper, whatever works best for you, and then creating an accountability plan. Besides yourself, who are you going to be accountable to? Because if you're not accountable to someone other than yourself, it's very unlikely you're going to sustain it. And you probably already tried to do it on your own, and then you're going back to your old ways. And what that does is, if you're tracking it, you can see, okay, I'm doing really great here, I'm falling short here. What do I need to do to step it up? Oh, I had a bad day. How am I going to recalibrate? And then bit by bit, your windows of being off track are going to get smaller and smaller. You're going to get on track faster. You're going to be more intentional. And then it's this process of constantly being aware of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then being mindful of what you need in the moment. And that will help you be super productive so that you can live the life that you want for yourself and implement the mission and purpose of why you're here. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.